of the Mahayuti alliance, who obviously are on cloud nine after getting those fantastic numbers. Mayuresh is joining us now. Mayuresh, so the Mahayuti has triumphed in Mumbai. All right, I've lost him there, but let me go now straight across to Charu Pragya, spokesperson from the BJP. She's joining us from the BJP headquarters. Mahima Singh, spokesperson with the Congress party. Krishna Hegde, spokesperson, who's joining us with the Shiv, Sena, Eknath, Shinde. And we are also going to be joining in a short while from Mr. Ajmera, leader of the NCP, Samajwadi Party. Now, let me go straight across to you, Charu. What an epic comeback by the Mahayuti. I mean, this is a record-breaking mandate. An alliance getting over 200 seats is a remarkable feat achieved.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, Avantika. And the credit for this goes to the vision our Prime Minister Modi ji has and every single Karyakarta and Neta of Mahayuti, which made sure that this vision was taken down to every last house in society. That's how you build a nation, and that's how you also win an election. I was just taking a look at the strike rate just now, and if you allow me, I'm going to read that out to you. The Congress had a 18% strike rate this time. Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray fraction had a 20% strike rate, and NCP, Sharad Pawar fraction had a 15% strike rate.
Yes.
That is telling. That shows us that the people of Maharashtra have chosen again the politics of development over the politics of appeasement, over the politics of division, over the politics of bringing in just bad language and bad name in every conversation, whether it is calling people item or a kutta or a sap. You know, we are done with that kind of politics now. We have created history in Maharashtra, and I couldn't be happier. In fact, we've created history when Modi ji became the Prime Minister for the third time in our country. We did the same in Haryana, and the same good streak has carried forward in Maharashtra. But let me assure you, it is no coincidence. It happens only because we don't let up. It is only happening because we are focused on core issues. We are making sure to bust every single fake narrative which is being floated today by the opposition. And at the end of the day, this is a learning for everyone. When you steer away from your core ideology, when you steer away from the very essence of what your party is supposed to be, you're not going to win. Nobody is going to stand by you. People are not going to vote for you. And Uddhav ji has unfortunately seen that.
Right. Mahima, I'll just come to you. Charu, just kindly stay on with me. I'll request our other guests also to kindly just have some patience, because we just received some breaking news about Ajit Pawar's wife, Sunetra Pawar, who has also spoken about the victory that the Mahayuti is enjoying after what they have seen. In fact, she has credited this victory to every worker of the party. Listen in.
क्या आपकी पहली प्रतिक्रिया है? डीसीएम अजित पवार फिर एक बार काफी उभर कर आए हैं इस चुनाव में. राज्य भर में एनसीपी अजित पवार गुट को काफी बढ़िया जगह जो है वो भी मिली है विधानसभा के इस चुनाव में.
मैं तो पहले बारामती की जनता की, मैं सब मतदारों की तहे दिल से मैं सबको धन्यवाद कहना चाहती हूँ. वो अजित दादा के साथ बहुत खंबीर से रहे हैं, उनके साथ.
महायुति को भी जो मैंडेट मिला है पूरे राज्य भर में, वो लैंडस्लाइड विक्ट्री की ओर जा रहा है. क्या आपकी अपेक्षा रहेगी अजित पवार मुख्यमंत्री बने? कई सारे होर्डिंग्स बारामती में देखे गए उस तरह के.
हर कोई कार्यकर्ता या जनता चाहती है कि अपना नेता बड़े बड़े पद पे जाए. वैसे बारामती की जनता हमेशा वो सोचती है, उनको चाहती है कि वो ऐसा बड़े पद पे जाएं दादा. इसलिए उन्होंने सबने अपना अपना रखा है वो पोस्टर.
अच्छा, ये चुनाव जो रहा बारामती का, ये पहली बार चाचा और भतीजे के बीच में हुआ. इसके पहले ऐसे कभी नहीं हुआ था, जिसके वजह से पूरे देश भर में पवार की बारामती बाद में फिर शरद पवार की बनी, फिर अजित पवार की बनी, और फ्रैगमेंट्स हो गए इस चुनाव में, पवार फैमिली में भी और पार्टी में भी. अब ये सारी चीजें जो है वो समेटने की कोई आशाएं आपको लगती है? ये पहले जैसा हो सकता है, या चुनावी माहौल जिस तरह से रहा उसी तरह से अब पार्टियां भी अलग रहेगी और फैमिली भी?
अभी बारामती की जनता ने दिखा दिया है कि बारामती किसकी है. बस मुझे लगता है कि यही ट्रेंड अभी रहेगा.
Right, let me get in now Mahima Singh from the Congress as well. Mahima, so if the BJP is in celebratory mode, in fact, all of the other alliance partners of the Mahayuti, they have every right to rejoice after getting those numbers. Even the Indie bloc has crossed the halfway mark in Jharkhand. But where exactly did the Maha Vikas Aghadi go wrong this time around? Given the performance in the Lok Sabha polls and the strike rate that Charu had just mentioned of Sharad Pawar, what does this mean for him?
Jai Hind. First of all, Avantika, I strongly object to your usage of the term indie bloc when you are not saying ND bloc. So please rectify that first and foremost. Going forward, I would like to quote Sada Ambalvi here, who says, "ये सियासत है कि लानत है सियासत पे सदा, ये सियासत है कि लानत है सियासत पे सदा, खुद है मुजरिम बने कानून बनाने वाले." From Nawab Malik to Ajit Pawar, the people who are winning it for the NDA, or in your terms ND bloc, is every name tarnished by the BJP itself. Nawab Malik, who was earlier called by the BJP as a link of Dawood Ibrahim, Ajit Pawar, who the Prime Minister himself called one of the most corrupt men, alleging 70,000 crore of corruption charges against him, and then joining hands with these very people. And very relevantly, you just played that clip from Baramati. It is very shocking because the Maharashtra voter is not going to digest this result. Because
but Mahima, why do you say that? Because the BJP, as you just heard, Charu...
Allow me to complete.
Yeah, on that point, Mahima ji, on that point only, why do you feel that? Because Charu Pragya just now alleged that unlike the campaign of the MVA, they ran a campaign on issues, on people, etc., while the MVA had digressed completely.
That is rather mockable, laughable, frivolous as it gets. The epitome of frivolity is when the BJP spokesperson talks of core ideology. It is, rather, they must disabuse themselves of the idea that there's any BJP core ideology left anywhere. This BJP, who was actually kicking away the RSS before the general election, had to, run back to it because they see how miserably they fell down. They had fallen down during the Lok Sabha election. So you see, the BJP, when it talks of core ideology, has to remember that it has become a khichdi of sorts. And it has to also remember that the people who voted for these parties last election were backstabbed by the BJP when these parties came together. And this time around, when the BJP is wooing its voters with "ek hai to safe hai, batenge to katenge," what people's issues are they talking about?
Right, but they've still got 215, Mahima ji. Charu, how do you respond to that? Because the BJP today has single-handedly obliterated the Maha Vikas Aghadi.
Allow me to complete my point, please.
I've heard you, ma'am.
Allow me to complete
Charu,
my point.
I'll tell you something, Avantika. And I say this in all seriousness.
You have to allow me to complete my point.
I'll give you a chance.
I find it terrible and literally heartbreaking that the opposition wants to find fault in the people of a state. Instead of doing retrospection, instead of figuring out where they went wrong, they will find fault with everything but themselves. It is heartbreaking to hear that because that's not how things work. We just heard Sanjay Rao talking about EVMs. He said, 5 seateं हमारी चुरा ली गई. भाई 5 seateं आपकी ज़्यादा आ जाती तो क्या आप चुनाव जीत रहे थे? बिल्कुल भी नहीं. And you are not talking about Jharkhand at all, where you seem to be winning as of now. You're not blaming the EVMs there. So I'm sorry, speaking like this kind of language is actually what has led to the downfall of MVA in Maharashtra, and I'm very happy that has happened. Another thing is that anybody who finds a cry for unity problematic is a problem themselves. They really need to do some introspection. Why is it that you would prefer people to be divided? What is it that you gain from the division of people that you are trying to create in society? It's sad that you actually think like that. A cry for unity is actually what keeps nations together, people together.
Okay, I just have to quickly go to the live result hub because the numbers are still coming in.
Allow me to complete.
Yes, Mahima ji, I'll just come to you in a bit. I'll come to you, Mahima. I'll just come to you. I just have to go to my colleague. Reha, over to you. I believe that you have some updates.
Yes, so Avantika, pretty much set for Maharashtra. We already know how it is playing out as far as Maharashtra is concerned, but the Jharkhand numbers are still trickling in. We do have some winners that we will have Brijesh ji speak to us about. So Brijesh ji was telling us about how the India bloc is faring well when it is about Jharkhand. We see 3 JMM, 1 Congress, but 1 BJP from Dhanbad.
Yeah, this is Baghmara seat of Dhanbad. Shatrugna Mahato, he is the candidate there of the BJP. He is the younger brother of Dhullu Mahato. Dhullu Mahato is the current MP from Dhanbad for the BJP, and Baghmara is their traditional seat. But if you look at the rest of the seats, it's all in the India Alliance account, because 3 seats basically owned by the JMM, while the another seat, the Bermo seat.
All right, so those are the updates coming in as far as those Jharkhand numbers are concerned. Let me go straight across now to Payal. All the action is happening there. Payal, the BJP Karyakartas, all workers in celebratory mood. This is a big, big win. It's unprecedented. An alliance getting more than 200 numbers. What would you attribute it to? Do you think it was only because of all the work by the RSS or the Ladki Behan Yojana? Go ahead.
Arey yaar. Avantika, I'm currently at Varsha, which is of course the headquarters of the state of Maharashtra, the Chief Minister's residence. We did speak to him just a short while ago, but let me introduce our viewers to Robin Sharma, a strategist for Mr. Eknath Shinde in this election. Somebody has to his track win in Andhra Pradesh as well. Robin, what do you think was the difference that made to this election? Why did you get so many numbers?
I think it's the credit should go to none other than but Maharashtra CM Mr. Eknath Shinde, and he has worked really hard. His Ladki Banner scheme and the way he has carried the entire alliance together, worked hard for Mahayuti, not thinking about only Shiv Sena, but all the 3 parties. I think credit goes to him, no one else.
Robin, you've been part of the entire process, with the seat selection, etc. as well. What actually put you forward before anybody else? What would put you, forward before the other opposition parties? What kept you ahead?
I think Mahayuti was well ahead and prepared after Lok Sabha. We worked really hard to correct what went wrong in terms of narrative, in terms of preparedness, in terms of seat selection, in terms of coordination. It was looking by far from our end that we are well ahead, we are well prepared, well organized, and opposition could not set a narrative.
You think there'll be smooth sailing from here on as well?
I don't think there should be an issue. I think there should be a smooth sailing next 5 years.
I know that you're not a voter of Maharashtra, neither are you a resident of Maharashtra, but who is your choice for the CM? Eknath Shinde, Devendra Fadnavis, Ajit Pawar, everybody's party wants their leaders to become the CM. Who's your choice for the CM?
I'm not the right one to comment on that because my role is limited, but I hope that
Maharashtra wants a 24-hour active CM.
Yes.
Well, of course, I'm not going to put you into any spot of bother as well, but of course, Robin, Avantika has been working round the clock. He was somebody who actually helped in promoting the Ladki Behna scheme in a big, big way, his team, and he devised the implementation in a big, big way as well. And here they are. Eknath Shinde answers 2 questions very quickly that I asked him. That, whether Ladki Behna scheme has been the implementing, has been the game changer. He says yes. And
We can't hear you now, but we're going to play that interview, that conversation you had with Eknath Shinde. Listen in to what he had to say.
मानते हैं कि लाड़की बहना की जीत हुई है?
हो गया।
लाड़की बहना की जीत हुई है सर?
लड़की बहन ने तो पूरा अंदाज सब फेल कर दिया।
और आज फैसला हो गया कि असली शिवसेना कौन है?
वो भी हो गया, जनता के दरबार में हो गया।
थैंक यू सो मच। अरे भाई हमको जाने दो।
The Chief Minister Eknath Shinde speaking exclusively to CNN News 18. In fact, he did speak to Payal in an exclusive interview earlier on as well. Krishna Hegde, spokesperson with the Shiv Sena, Eknath Shinde, also joins us now. Mr. Hegde, what would you attribute this phenomenal win to? Do you think that it is only because of the Ladki Behan Yojana that had gained significant traction and has now reaped these very rich electoral dividends for the Mahayuti? Or do you think it's also the RSS? The RSS mobilizing extensively to support the BJP. They have been very, very, detailed and very long meetings. There were also plans on booth level management, etc. So before I come to you, we'll just show our viewers once again what did Mr. Shinde had to say when he was asked about the reasons for this win, and this is what he had to say.
Sir, आप ये मानते हैं कि लाड़की बहना की जीत हुई है?
हो गया।
लाड़की बहना की जीत हुई है सर?
लड़की बहन ने तो पूरा अंदाज सब वो फेल कर दिया।
और आज फैसला हो गया कि असली शिवसेना कौन है?
वो भी हो गया, जनता के दरबार में हो गया।
थैंक यू सो मच। अरे भाई हमको जाने दो।
Mr. Aghadi, over to you. The reasons you think are responsible for this phenomenal win that the Mahayuti has achieved from the people of Maharashtra.
Avantika, first of all, we've been working 24/7 for the people, unlike the previous government, which hardly the CM went to the Mantralaya only 2 times in 2.5 years. Over that, we had so many social welfare schemes, including the Ladki Behan, and that was a game changer for sure. Apart from all the other welfare schemes which we had for the farmers, for the youth, the infrastructure projects we did in Maharashtra. But I must also thank the cadre of the Mahayuti. All the 3 parties worked very hard. The leaders of the 3 parties also worked very hard. That's Eknath, Shinde, Devendra Fadnavis, and Ajit Pawar. Over that, we had the direction and the guidance of the Honorable Prime Minister Amit Bhai, JP Nadda ji, and of course the RSS. The cadre also worked throughout. And I must say that there's another couple of reasons here. It is the consolidation of the Hindu vote and the rejection of the polarization of the Muslim vote, which they tried very hard with the OAC, the Nomani, the All India Muslim Personal Law Board, the Ulema Council, and 180 Muslim NGOs coming together and working as one force. And the people of Maharashtra saw that there is a particular section of people trying to defeat a working government, and therefore they came out in large numbers, which is evident to see.
Oh yes.
Another thing I must.
Yes. Go ahead.
I must speak also about the Congress spokesperson who said here about the Bharatiya Janata Party ideology. So what kind of ideology are you with? You are with Uddhav Thackeray, whose father always abused you. You are talking about us who are Shiv Sena and BJP are together for the last, since 1987. Okay. And apart from that, you spoke about Nawab Malik. Nawab Malik is still trailing in the election, so he has not won the election as yet. So I think all said and done, it's a good show by the cadre of all the 3 parties, and I think the numbers are on the wall. They have not even crossed as much as we alone in the
No, undoubtedly. It's a fantastic win, which is bound to boost the morale of the party worker, the cadre, and all those involved in registering this phenomenal win for the Mahayuti, and also will lead to this fresh momentum. But about the Maha Vikas Aghadi, let me get in Pranay Ajmera, leader of the NCP. Mr. Ajmera, what happened here? Because, this win will also decisively determine which faction holds the key to the Shiv Sena, and it's very evidently so that it's Ajit Pawar who commands that kind of respect amongst the Shiv Senics.
Avantika ji, this is just an electoral defeat, and I shouldn't use this word defeat because the results are yet to be announced. There are many seats in the state which are seeing neck-to-neck competition, and the results will be out definitely by 4-5 p.m. today in the evening, or may get later, may get late. So it's too early to arrive on conclusions. As far as the NCP is concerned, anyone in the country knows that it belongs to Sharad Pawar Sahab and the party and the party cadre that stayed with Pawar Sahab after the split. So I don't think there is any kind of doubt as far as this context is concerned. Regarding the electoral results which are coming out, I must cite a couplet from the poem of Atal Bihari Vajpayee Sahab. Of course, the present BJP has gone far, far away from the principles of Atalji, Advaniji, and other leaders who used to have a different charisma as far as Indian politics is concerned. क्या हार में, क्या जीत में, किंचित नहीं भयभीत में, संघर्ष पथ पर जो भी मिला, यह भी सही, वो भी सही. We will introspect. We are here to stay and let the final results come out. Then definitely we'll get an idea that where we lag behind, where we were good, where we were supposed to do better, And all these things will come out.
No, fair enough, fair enough. But, you know, also we have to pay attention to those numbers, Mr. Ajmera. And, you know, the strike rate, Sharad Pawar having just 15.1% in these elections. Let me get in Kailash Adhikari, political analyst who's been patiently waiting as well. Mr. Adhikari, thank you so much for your time. Your understanding of what has happened, what has worked for the Mahayuti, what didn't work for the Maha Vikas Aghadi that did exceptionally well in the recently concluded Lok Sabha polls.
Avantika, the understanding for anyone, not just for me, is very simple. People choose whom they feel is fit to run the government. People choose whom they feel is fit for good governance and who has delivered good governance. In the past 2.5 years, the Mahayuti, led by the Bharatiya Janata Party as well as the Shiv, Sena, the Shinde faction and the NCP, Ajit Pawar faction, have delivered good governance. Be it tentpole schemes such as the Ladki Bahin scheme or any other schemes. See, I come from Mumbai. I'm a proud Mumbaikar. And I have seen the kind of changes in infrastructure-wise or any other kind of changes on the ground. You know, there are the inauguration of the coastal road or the other Setu, that has really eased their life. Yes. So this is my viewpoint as a voter. But across the length and breadth of the state of Maharashtra, for the 9.7 crore voters, out of whom 6.6 crore voters have exercised their franchise, and you can see the landslide victory. When such landslide victory happens, Avantika, it is only a result because of the fact the people think that they are the best people to run the government. They are the people who will deliver what they, what are their expectations at the end of the day. Maximum governance and minimum government. This has been the plank of the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Honorable Prime Minister since 2014. And we have seen it's been close to 10.5 and 11 years now. That governance has been at the core and focus. Okay. And today's voter is an informed voter and he knows who will do best for him.
Oh, absolutely. A very informed and also sometimes, Mr. Adhikari, a silent voter. One cannot take the voter for granted now with the kind of access they have to knowledge and technology. Let me also get in executive editor Aman Sharma. He's also been with there. You know, Aman, this has been a fight between these two towering alliances with both holding no punches and attacking each other. They have been very personal, bitter, acerbic attacks and barbs from corruption to communal polarization. So what went wrong for the Maha Vikas Aghadi and what has worked for the Mahayuti in your understanding?
Well, Avantika, let's maybe break it down in 5 to 6 reasons what has really worked. As per my travels and what I am hearing from the BJP in Maharashtra, see, this is the third consecutive win for the BJP in Maharashtra. 2014, 2019 and now 2024, unprecedented. 200 plus seats. The first time an alliance in Maharashtra has come with 200 plus seats and 50% plus vote share. This is historic. And this kind of victory is not possible without everything working on the ground for you. I would say, number one, the woman voter. We see that 53 lakh more women voted in this election than the last election. 6% rise in the women voting in this election. This woman voter seems to have reposed its faith totally.
In fact, the women, it seems, Aman, has emerged as a very, very strong and influential voting bloc in both the states. So if Ladki Behna worked in the state of Maharashtra, even Maiya Saman Yojana seems to have worked in the state of Jharkhand.
Absolutely. And, you know, this shows that whoever has the first mover advantage in the terms of paying money under a women's scheme always stands to gain. And that is why we see in Maharashtra that this huge percentage rise in women voting, I think, has gone totally for the Mahayuti, that they have rewarded this particular scheme. I think women voters have also transcended caste as well as religion barriers in this particular election in Maharashtra. Number two, I would say the farmer. See, the Vidarbha region has seen a complete flip this time, the 62 seats voting in a big way for the Mahayuti. This is also a result of BJP's outreach to cotton and soya-bean farmers, the initiatives that were announced for them.
So do you think that the promise to provide aid to the soya-bean farmers has actually worked?
Absolutely. See, this was something which hurt the BJP in the Lok Sabha elections, but this election, BJP went out of its way, I would say, to the cotton farmers, to the soya-bean farmers, promising, you know, the moisture quantity or the procurement was increased to 15%. Also, Avantika, full loan waiver was promised by the BJP in its manifesto, something spoken about very little, but had, I think, a huge impact on the ground. The farmers being promised a full loan waiver by the BJP. This is something BJP has not done in other state elections. This is the one state election after many state elections that BJP promised a full loan waiver in this election. Also, I think Prime Minister's slogan, Ek hai to safe hai. This has consolidated the 38% OBC vote in the state like never before. OBC vote, which was, went a bit away from the Mahayuti in the Lok Sabha election because OBC was upset that why is the BJP reaching out to the Marathas in such a way for reservation. I think the OBC vote has totally united for the BJP with the Prime Minister's slogan of Ek hai to safe hai. And that has also proved to be a big, big asset for the Mahayuti. That slogan has clicked. The slogan which was in the Lok Sabha was Samvidhan Khatare mein hai. This particular time, the slogan which is dominant and has worked on the ground is Ek hai to safe hai. I think the final reason also I would pay Sharad Pawar's collapse. BJP thought and BJP assessment before the election that Sharad Pawar is the strongest pillar, maybe in the Maha Vikas Aghadi camp. He will be able to get a good strike rate. He'll be able to rally the forces. He contested a high number of 85 seats.
Yes.
His strike rate is the worst, and I think Sharad Pawar has pulled down the entire Maha Vikas Aghadi alliance along with the Congress party, and that in direct contest between the Congress and the BJP, around 76 seats were there. I think BJP is won over 2/3 of those seats. So even the Congress has suffered the hidden weapon, or if I should say the hidden asset of the BJP, I think in the last, has been the RSS. The way the RSS has worked on the ground of Avantika, it's phenomenal.
And, I want to talk about that in detail, and I will come to you, Aman. Mahima, would you agree to that as well, that it's the Prime Minister's Ek hai to safe hai, the slogan that perhaps, worked as a spoiler for the Maha Vikas Aghadi, because we're just seeing the numbers here. The BJP alone has secured more seats than the entire Maha Vikas Aghadi combined.
Double than that.
Now double than that.
In fact, Avantika, I would say I don't find that slogan to be anything short of a paradox. Because within the Mahayuti itself, you will see, one is that during the campaign also, we saw the kind of divide there was amongst the alliance partners. We saw the photos of different leaders of different parties missing from, the other, one or the other parties. For example, Ajit Pawar's posters might not have Devendra Fadnavis, so on and so forth. Eknath Shinde's fate, for that matter, has become quite, topsy-turvy now, shaky. And going forward, it is going to be interesting to watch that the Vidarbha and Marathwada region, they are talking about Ek hai to safe hai. They are the ones who have led the state of Maharashtra into this state of rebellion, sort of perpetual state of rebellion over the past couple of years. And it's going to be interesting to watch because Vidarbha and Marathwada had ousted, almost ousted BJP leaders, causing some of Amit Shah's rallies to be cancelled, causing Devendra Fadnavis not even to look in that direction. How are they going to govern that region? That is a big question that lies ahead. And at the end, let me conclude by saying this part of mine, that you should not, say that it is a done deal already. It is Maharashtra, and the BJP as well might taste its own medicine at the end. After all, you might remember Ajit Pawar's statement after Lok Sabha elections when he said, मुझसे बहुत बड़ी गलती हो गई, मैंने अपने परिवार को धोखा दिया. Those might not be the exact words he said, but that was the essence of what he said.
Indeed.
So wait and watch for the next couple of days.
And that's what we are doing. And, I think as journalists, we never really call it till the Election Commission does, isn't it, Aman? Charu, how would you respond to what Ms. Mahima had to say? Do you also feel that Eknath Shinde, who has been written off by critics earlier on and has repeatedly emerged as an undisputed leader, perhaps could be on shaky grounds, because there is a lot of clamour and talk about who will be the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Devendra Fadnavis led a very, very impressive campaign for the BJP. He spearheaded the entire campaign as well, and there is now talks about him being the possible face for the state of Maharashtra.
No doubts about that, Avantika. Devendra ji has always been a fantastic leader, and the Karyakartas of Maharashtra, in fact the whole country, are very proud of him. For Mahima, I just have one Hindi का मुहावरा, अंगूर खट्टे हैं. So, जब इस तरीके से आप बाल की खाल निकालने लगते हैं and you start criticizing something which is working perfectly for another person, it just shows कि आपके अपने अंगूर खट्टे, and that's not what I want to discuss today. I want to discuss the fact that how an increased vote share shows that women are becoming more part of the decision-making process and the way the politics is run in our country. And that's such a happy thing to see. Most of the increased vote share, in fact, was women. women. The gap between the men and the women voters is the lowest it has ever been, and all these women have supported Mahayuti, and that's very telling because since Modi ji became Prime Minister, all his big schemes have revolved around women, and that was very, very necessary for our country to progress. Another thing is that casteist politics has got a full stop now, once and for all, because even regions where it is the Marathas which are dominant, BJP is leading. And lastly, it is not BJP versus Shiv Sena versus Ajit Pawar's fraction of the NCP. We are working at this together. We contested this election together, and I don't know why this narrative is being floated that it's one versus the other. Absolutely not. Whoever is the chief minister now is a Mahayuti chief minister, belongs to all of us, is going to be chosen on the basis of the fantastic governance that can be given to the state of Maharashtra. At the end of the day, that is important. And Shinde ji is our chief minister. There is no taking away from that fact, and this is nothing new for BJP. We don't work under false egos. We don't work in a space where we have to compromise with who we are, because again Mahima talked about ideology and she wanted to hit out at that. Let me tell her that everybody who followed Adarniya Balasaheb Thackeray ji is actually today where they are supposed to be. They are supporting the Bharatiya Janata Party as they have done for generations, for decades. So one thing is clear. You cannot divide people and hope to win. You cannot float false narratives and hope to win. You can't take away from your own ideology and hope to win. And also, at the end of the day, lastly, this is a situation which Congress needs to introspect instead of coming here and talking about why BJP is winning and why it is the people's fault for voting for BJP. Focus on the fact that you are finding other people to blame. You're still talking about EVMs.
Mr. Aghadi, I wanted to ask you, and while just to take from where Charu left, before I'll come to you, I'll just come to you. Mahima, I'll just come to you. I've just been told that I have to go right now to CNN News 18's Payal. She's joining us now. She has some information. Payal, over to you. Payal, if you can hear me, go ahead.
Yes, I have with me Naresh Maske, Member of Parliament from Thane, from where Eknath Shinde comes. He's from the Shiv Sena. Maske ji, एक चीज मुझे बताइए.
विचार किसके नेतृत्व में महाराष्ट्र में आगे जाएगा, इसका विश्वास लोगों ने एकनाथ शिंदे जी के नेतृत्व में रखा है. इसका नतीजा, इसका दूध का दूध और पानी का पानी आज लोगों ने किया है.
हिंदुत्व का असली फ्लैग बेरर कौन है, इसका भी फैसला हो गया. हिंदुत्व कौन है, ये भी फैसला हो गया.
देखो, हिंदुत्व, बाला साहब का हिंदुत्व, हम बटेंगे तो कटेंगे, हम सब एक है तो सेफ है. ये जो नारा था, आज वो सही क्या सही है. महाराष्ट्र में लोगों ने तय किया, एकनाथ शिंदे साहब के नेतृत्व में विश्वास रखा और ये बाला साहब ठाकरे जी की शिवसेना एकनाथ शिंदे साहब ही आगे ले जा सकते, इस पे शिक्कामोर्तब किया.
संजय राउत क्यों फिर ऐसी बातें बोल रहे हैं कि पैसे का.
देखो, संजय राउत पागल हुआ है. कल कपड़े फाड़ के रास्ते में वो नाचने वाला है. मैं उसके लिए मेंटल हॉस्पिटल में एक बेड रिजर्व करके आया हूँ. मेरे कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में मेंटल हॉस्पिटल है. संजय राउत का एक दाव था, एक बनाव था. उद्धव ठाकरे जी के पीठ में खंजीर खोज के और शरद पवार जी के मार्फत से खुद का नाम मुख्यमंत्री के लिए लाना चाहता था. आज सुबह तक वो जयंत पाटिल ड्राइविंग करते, उसके बाजू में बैठे थे. कल आज सुबह तक होटल बुक कर रहे थे.
एक आखिरी सवाल है मस्के जी,
बोल रहे थे. और अभी हम पे
एक आखिरी सवाल है, सोमवार से पार्लियामेंट शुरू हो रहा है, क्या जश्न की तैयारी होगी पार्लियामेंट में?
पार्लियामेंट में तो जश्न होएगा.
क्या लेके जाएंगे आप? लड्डू लेके जाएंगे या जलेबी?
लड्डू लेके जाएंगे, पेड़ा लेके जाएंगे, जिलेबी लेके जाएंगे, पूरे मिष्टान्न हम पार्लियामेंट में लेके जाएंगे. आप तो वहाँ रहेंगे.
All right, a very buoyant Maske, in fact, a very buoyant leader from the Shiv Sena. You know, he speaks his mind, very, very close to Eknath Shinde. And he, of course, he has a piece of advice for Sanjay Raut, essentially. Avantika, back to you.
And Payal, you have a choice.
Shiv way of speaking.
Yes, you have a choice of sweets to decide from as well. Do enjoy those treats because that's the offer that they
I'm
made.
off sweets for now, but I'll...
Sure, Mr. Aghadi, I want to bring you in. Speaking of Eknath Shinde, as I was mentioning to Charu a short while ago, you know, he's known for his populist schemes. Look at the Ladki Behan Yojana. He's crediting that popular scheme for the resounding success that Mahayuti is enjoying right now. He's also known for his hands-on approach to governance. He's also known for his accessibility, and also, most importantly, he's been the face and very popular stance on the Maratha quota. But there is a lot of charcha. There's a lot of talk as to he could be changed. There could be a new chief minister. Devendra Fadnavis probably just might be stepping into his shoes. So the question is, kaun banega Maharashtra ka Mukhyamantri?
Eknath Shinde ji is a popular man and is a people's man, and he's kept the door open for the entire CM house, Varsha, to the common man. And he himself calls himself CM, means common man. And he works the same way. I have not seen a chief minister. I think both Devendra Fadnavis and Eknath Shinde ji both work over 20 hours a day. And even with Devendra Fadnavis, you text him at 2 a.m., within 5 minutes he gives you a reply. So that is the caliber of the people who are working for Maharashtra, the talented people.
But you haven't answered my question about who's going to be the face of the state.
I would want Eknath Shinde ji to continue as the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, obviously because the election was fought under his leadership here and we've got a huge victory, but not discounting the fact that the Bharatiya Janata Party has got more number of seats and Devendra ji is also an equally able leader. So whoever the Bharatiya Janata Party High Command and the leaders of the three parties, that is the Congress, the NCP, the Shiv Sena and the BJP put together, it will be a leader who will take all the welfare schemes forward, will take the people of Maharashtra forward, will take development forward, and mostly it will take, Maharashtra drives the economy of the country. So therefore, it will take India forward, and that's the main thing to look at.
All right. I'm going to request all of my guests to kindly hold on. We have a political reaction and an interview coming up. Let's play that out.
How do you see these results which have appeared, and what is your first reaction? Because everyone was telling that Ajit Dada may not fetch that good result.
Sorry, Ajit Dada may what?
Ajit Dada may not fetch that good result that everyone was predicting it before the elections.
So see, when 5 years ago in 2019, Congress had one MP and NCP had 4, and with that in Vidhan Sabha, we got a hit rate of 95 MLAs. So looking at, there's no correlation of Lok Sabha results and Vidhan Sabha. That's always been the trend in Maharashtra for, I would say, the last 30 years, where people think that, Lok Sabha results impact Vidhan Sabha. Well, that is a big no. We have seen that in 2019 also. After NCP Congress having 5 seats, they ended up winning 95. And with this also, we had taken, I wouldn't say the wrong seats, but we didn't get the right seats. Otherwise, our hit rate would have been good in Lok Sabha as well. And that Lok Sabha results set out a narrative that, things are not looking good. But that was not the case on the ground. On the ground, it was very different. The people were still in favor of all our MLAs. Whoever our candidates were, we gave them tickets.
So, but my next question to you, that what do you think which has worked for NCP in this election? As you said that you were not expecting this, you are not, after the Lok Sabha results, you were not expecting the same kind of results, and you were quite confident that it will be a different result.
We were quite confident. The people, the narrative was said that, we are in a bad shape, but that was not the case. We as a party, we were always confident, but unfortunately, the narrative was, that, things are not going good for us, but that was never the case.
Well, 217, just a short while ago, it was at 215, and those numbers being revised, it will happen till the evening. Aman, you know, two quick questions. One is, who's going to be the Chief Minister of Maharashtra after securing these kind of numbers? And secondly, the role of the RSS. I mean, the kind of work that the RSS has put in. You were in Nagpur, detailed planning, booth-level management, outreach programs, and every worker going out there to try and, you know, oppose the opposition's narratives. Would you credit the RSS as well for this phenomenal victory?
Coming to the second question first, Avantika, I think RSS has been the trump card for the BJP in these particular Maharashtra elections. I remember being in Nagpur and meeting some RSS Swayamsevaks. They were carrying this one-page pamphlet to various homes. Nearly 60,000 such small meetings with 10 to 12 group of influential people were done by the RSS. The main number one agenda of the RSS was getting more people out to vote.
Yes.
They felt that in the Lok Sabha, the core BJP voter did not come out. They were asking people to come out and vote, and then they were asking people to vote for a party which stands for national interest, which works against love jihad, land jihad. They said that, you know, remember what happened in Dhule, this Lok Sabha seat, where BJP led in all assembly segment, but in one Muslim-dominated segment, it lost, and it lost the Lok Sabha seat. So it was a lot about Hindu consolidation. I think RSS has done a phenomenal job for the BJP in these particular elections on the ground. That said, I feel who will become the Chief Minister is now the big question before the Mahayuti. In the middle of the elections, the wisdom that we heard in the BJP camp was that if it is a narrow win, if it is like a 150, 160 kind of a win, then maybe the existing arrangement will continue. But now, with this kind of a win, where 217, 215 and 129, BJP at 129, I think BJP would aggressively want Mr. Devendra Fadnavis to be back in the CM's chair. This is also maybe his rightful position. You know, if you go to Nagpur, his constituency, people say his rightful position is the Chief Minister's chair. He made a sacrifice in 2022 because there were peculiar circumstances in which that government was formed. I think this time, the BJP with such a huge mandate would find it very hard to convince its cadre that, you know, its own party man is not becoming the Chief Minister. So I think some delicate work balancing will have to be done by the BJP here to convince maybe Mr. Eknath Shinde to maybe swap places, I think, with Mr. Devendra Fadnavis this time, and, you know, work as a team. And Mr. Eknath Shinde could get still plum portfolios like PWD done, which are portfolios are close to his heart. But I think BJP would, I feel, find it very hard to deny Mr. Devendra Fadnavis the Chief Minister chair with such a big mandate.
Oh, and you're right. You know, his sacrifice at that time is not going to be forgotten. Mr. Adhikari, if I may bring you here, would you agree as well? And also, following the debacle that one saw in the Lok Sabha elections for the Mahayuti and the Maha Vikas Aghadi doing very, very impressively well, do you feel that the involvement of the Sangh post the debacle seems to have turned around the fortunes for the Mahayuti?
Avantika, there is no denying the fact that Mr. Devendra Fadnavis has really turned the table since the Lok Sabha elections have come out. And in 2014 to 19, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis was the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. He led the state to newer, to greater heights, not only in terms of social welfare, but also in terms of industrial development, the kind of new policies that the state have introduced, and the kind of charisma that he carries. It's not only for the party workers or for the cadres, but also for the people. You know, the Janta Janardhan of Maharashtra, they look up to him as a bright young leader. And of course, the Bharatiya Janata Party's the extensive show of leading on 129 seats out of, I think, 142 or 145 that it contested. It's a magical strike rate that it has got. And of course, the Mahayuti together is closely about 217 seats now. So definitely the Bharatiya Janata Party will focus on having a chief ministerial face from the party fold, and Mr. Devendra Fadnavis has shown and has delivered much more than anyone would have thought, much more than anyone could have ever imagined. But at the end of the day, yes, it is for the three parties to sit together to decide on a face ahead.
Oh, absolutely. Mr. Ajmera, would you concur then that the way Mahayuti worked in unison, in consensus, is something that perhaps it has yielded this kind of result that we're getting to see? We are still waiting for the final numbers, because this was a very, very close contest. It was a fiercely fought contest between all the political parties post the power alignments. It was very complex and cluttered, if I may say, with every party fighting for power, for loyalty, for prestige. Clearly, it was a Maha battle for political supremacy, and Mahayuti coming out trumps.
Avantika, you used the word consensus in Mahayuti, between the Mahayuti leaders. Where was the consensus? Right from the very first day, they came out with a dialogue like "Batenge to katenge, ek hai to safe hai," and such sort of negative politics. You see, even the senior leaders of the BJP were not in agreement with those kind of activities.
But there was open bickerings even within the Maha Vikas Aghadi. Mr. Ajmera, Nana Patole and Sanjay Raut were in fact also vying for the, the CM's
that was before, that was, Avantika ji, that was during the course of candidate selection. That was during the course of seat distributions. Once the distribution formula was settled, we were fighting elections as one. As they say in Maharashtra grassroots politics, there were 4 parties who are contesting the Maharashtra elections. One was BJP, second was Shinde ji ki Sena, third was Ajit Dada's NCP, and the fourth was Maha Vikas Aghadi. We fighted as one. We were united in almost all the aspects, whereas the BJP, Shinde Sena, and Ajit Dada's party was divided in many aspects. Right. As far as this Ladki Bahin Yojana scheme is concerned, ma'am, they had severe showdown going amongst each other regarding the credit. At one point, Ajit Dada Pawar is taking the credit. At one point, the Shinde faction was coming ahead and saying that since it is a Mukhyamantri Ladki Bahin Yojana, the credit must go to the Mukhyamantri as well. And the other parties are just ignoring the fact that this is the Mukhyamantri Ladki Bahin Yojana. So they were fighting on many fronts. It is just a surprising thing that this kind of results are coming out, and we will definitely introspect. But as you are saying that there were consensus, they were together. Mahayuti was a divided house, Mahayuti is a divided house, and Mahayuti will be a divided house. And when we discuss about the CM post, ma'am, let just the day proceed, and they'll start fighting for the CM post. And as I say, politics is over, elections are over, politics has begun.
That's an interesting one.
Yes, ma'am.
No, and we're all going to be watching this space very closely.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to request all of my guests. I'll request all of my guests to kindly wait for a while. We have to slip into a very short break, but we will continue our coverage, and not with the focus being only on Maharashtra. We'll also be talking about Jharkhand and what happened there. Most importantly for the JMM, Hemant Soren doing extremely well and also getting his party to the numbers that we're seeing on your screens right now. Short break, the broadcast and the news continues on the other side with my colleague Poonam. Keep watching.